time you playing zone. Forget your pass rush, he gon' get it out quick. Scotty, Mike, and even Chris, yeah, don't try to zero blitz. New quarterbacks, new uniforms, now we looking like we bout this. You was talking trash, I know you won't last. Put your money where your mouth is. Who's stopping all these weapons we got? Plus OJ and Bray, that's a lot. Don't sit there and try to tell me that your team's just as good when they not. The NFC South is a lock. 11-5 at the least. If you think that Tom Brady will stop, ask the teams from the AFC East. I know it's hard for you. Tell me how much that it bothers you that the Bucks are back on top. In another news, no one thought of you. Panthers already rebuilding, but the Falcons are something you ought to do. Saint fans, y'all mad because you know the rest won't give all other calls to you. Another two-team race, really we know it's another lost cause for you. If they choose from Birdie or Breeze, we already know who they gonna choose. Yo.
There is no offensive pass interference as the 4-second question occurred on the line of scrimmage. Therefore, it is a touchdown.
Doesn't feel like it's real. We got a new quarterback ready to kill. He costs 25 mil. That's the hit on the cap. You could call that a steal. And we all know the drill. If you don't have a ring, you don't know how it feels. Kiss the ring with Bill. We got Brady, so shout out to Bill. Doesn't feel like it's real. We got a new quarterback ready to kill. He costs 25 mil. That's the hit on the cap. You could call that a steal. And we all know the drill. If you don't have a ring, you don't know how it feels. Kiss the ring when you kneel. We got Brady, so shout out to Bill.
What's your favorite ring? My favorite ring. I always said, and I said always the next one. The next one's the best.
Real talk, Perez. Real talk, man.
Real talk, Perez.
Real talk, Perez.
Real talk, Perez.
Of course, real talk is one of them.
It'll be real talk,
Perez.
Yo, real talk.
Real talk, Perez.
Real talk, Perez.
Real talk, Perez, man.
Real talk, Perez.
Real talk, Perez.
Perez.
Real talk, Perez.
And the real Perez.
Real talk, Perez.
Check, 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 mic check, 1, 2. It's your man RTP, Skull Gang in the building. I'd give myself a round of applause, but my soundboard isn't up yet. You know me, always late, always forgetting something and adding it late. Oh, there you go. Let's see if my soundboard works. There you go. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Drop a bomb for everybody in the building. You know what I'm saying? We all here. Let's go through this real quick. Let's give some shout outs real quick. Christopher Do in the building. Buck Skull Gang in the building. Your daddy in the building. Ray Long in the building, Tony Lee in the building, Nikki Deuce in the building, the main man Dano in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, before we get started with the subject, I just want to say something real quick. It's been a minute since I've been on here live streaming. And forgive me if anything messes up or I forget to do something, because like I said, it's been a minute. You have to kind of stay in the groove to remember everything that I have on here. But I got on here and, I see the setup and I'm just like, oh man, like I just, you see the second trophy and the 2 banners and you just, you realize like, man, it's gonna next year, you know what I'm saying? Like this is all the Super Bowl stuff's gonna be gone. And then I realized, wait a minute. This is not gonna leave. That second trophy right there, it's gonna stay there. It's a part of the set now. The second banner, it's a part of the set now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the championship banner up there, this is championship on the top. Maybe, maybe I'll take that off once some boxes out and we're not that year's champion anymore. But until then, that stays up. But those 2 banners and those 2 trophies, they stay in there. ring on. Championships are forever. You know what I'm saying? So, you always gotta appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be a team that just doesn't have one. So this live stream came about because I was watching some other people's live stream, and I've noticed there's a lot of haters. There's a lot of Saint fans. There's a lot of Falcon fans making videos. There's really no Panther fans no more. You know what I'm saying? No Panther fans are really, and there's really no Falcon fans either, to be honest. There's just really one Falcon fan that makes a video, which, I'll say his name, Sports Live in the ATL. You know what I'm saying? He's making videos. He deserves his name to be said. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't know anything about football. He doesn't really know what to talk about or anything, but at least he's still making videos and whatever. But there's been, Sports Live, some Saint fans making videos, and they always saying bandwagon Buck fans, bandwagon Buck fans, bandwagon Buck fans. Oh, you bandwagon Buck fans. So I said, this was a video long in the making. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about Fanhood, and I've done one of these videos before, a while ago, a long time back. But I'm gonna make it again. I'm gonna make another video again, and this is it. This is the live stream. And it's titled, Are You a Bandwagon Fan? But really, what we're going to do today is talk about Fanhood and see if you are a bandwagon fan. And it's really not, this live stream is really not to determine if you're a bandwagon fan, even though you can find out. It's really more to just break down Fanhood, because there's levels to this. As you can see, there is levels to Fanhood. Now we're going to start right here. Okay. We're going to start right here. As you can see, Fanhood, AKA you're a fan. Okay. Once you're a fan, you get a Fanhood, and that is the middle. As you can see, the middle right there. That's where, let's say, 80% of fans, that's where their Fanhood is at, right there, dead smack in the middle. Okay, these are the fans that don't know what's going on with the team. These are the fans. The easiest way you can spot these fans is ask them who their starting offensive line is. If they don't know who their starting offensive line is, they're pretty much right there. They're pretty much right there in just dead in the middle, Fanhood. These are the fans that don't really follow the team. Don't even really watch ESPN like that. These are the fans that just say, what can I watch on Sunday? Oh, yeah, there's a game on today. That's that fan right there. That's 80% of the fans, to be honest. Okay, this is why a lot of times you can't really just listen to other fans and understand what's going on with the team, because most of the time they don't know. They're usually right there in the middle. Fanhood, 80% right there. They just oh, who's playing Sunday? Who's playing this Thursday? Oh, we're playing Thursday. Oh, they didn't even know they played that Thursday. You know what I'm saying? They're that fan. There's nothing wrong with it. It's very innocent. And to be honest, let me just say this, because I don't want to sound like I'm crushing on this Fanhood. This is where all Fanhood starts, is right there. Okay, that's just the truth. That's where all Fanhood start. Somewhere, whether you're a little kid or whether you just decided you want to start watching that sport and you're 13 or 14 or 20 years old or 30 years old, every Fanhood starts there. So there's nothing wrong with that Fanhood. And let me also say this, that part of your Fanhood is probably the most joy, not the most joy, but it's the easiest to live. It's the easiest to live. It's an area where it doesn't hurt. When you start going into this area, it starts hurting. Losing games, losing important games, it starts hurting. It starts hurting. When you get all the way to the end of that way, all the way to the end, it starts really hurting. So it's a real safe spot to live in right there. You don't really worry about who's on the team. You don't know your offensive line. And the more you know about your offensive line, maybe you know your starting offensive line, and now you know a backup or two of your offensive line, then you start moving this way. You start moving that way. And eventually, you actually follow the team. not a whole bunch, but you actually follow the team. You know your offensive line. You might know a backup or two. You know who you don't just know the starters. You know the backups of some of the depth on your team. You follow some of the news that's going on with your team, and you become a real fan. Now, I didn't really know what to call these people, and I figure real fans feels like the right thing to call them. The only thing I don't like about it looks like I'm taking a shot at fans, at regular fans. I'm not taking a shot at regular fans, but look, these are real fans. These are real fans, okay? They know they know their offensive line. They know some backup offensive linemen. They know some of the depth in their team, not just the starters. They know what was wrong with their team a little bit. Like, they have a little bit of opinions about their teams. Now, the opinions that you get here, these are most of the fans that you see on. These are the fans that you see. These are the fans that you see the most, especially on social media. Okay, these are the real fans. These are the fans you see the most. They're the fans that want to talk football. They're the fans that make social media, make Facebook groups. They're the fans that are on Twitter with the handle of their team. There's a lot of fans that you see that you know right away that are real fans. This team, this label right here is what you see on social media. They have opinions, and most of the time they're not. I would say 50% of the time they're good. But these are also the most dangerous fans right here, as far as they understand the game. They have opinions because they watch the team, they follow the team, they know the team. And I'll say most of the time. Most of the time they have good opinions. But on certain situations, certain how should I say this? Certain problems, certain things that happen, their opinions are usually based on what they've been told. ESPN, beat writers, other news outlets. That's where their opinions mostly grow from. Okay, this is nothing wrong. Again, nothing wrong with real fans. These are the fans that really don't like me. I'm gonna be honest with you. These are the fans that really don't like me, because these are the fans that I tend to get on, because they have strong opinions and I see where it's coming from. But me being closer to this fan, the Fanatics, I don't know, you can't see the Fanatics on the screen, but it says Fanatics. You see that right there? I'm closer to their Fanatics. A fanatic is someone that needs to know all the information. Okay, not just from ESPN, not just from beat writers, but going and watching tape. Okay, going and finding out themselves, because they don't trust beat writers. They've realized the ESPN has an agenda. They realize NFL Network has an agenda. They realize that their opinions on certain quarterbacks, their opinions on certain players, there's an agenda. There's a reason why some players get recognition and some players don't. They understand that there's something more when it comes to the media. There's something more than it comes to when certain coaches get credit and certain coaches don't. Certain coaches get blamed and certain coaches don't. Certain coaches get certain coaches, certain quarterbacks get excuses. They get all these excuses, and other coaches and other quarterbacks don't. Cam Newton, one of my favorite excuses right now that's going on. Cam Newton gets more excuses than I don't even know what to say. But Cam Newton gets so many. He was hurt every year. We hear this every year. When he gets back to form, he was just hurt last year. He was bumped up last year. He had, the C-19 last year. That man gets so many excuses he sucks. I'm sorry. He's not good. Okay? The only time he was good was when he was the only quarterback in the league that was able to actually throw the ball a decent amount. Decent, not even good, just decent. He's gotten better as the years gone by, but still at his best, he's still just a decent thrower of the football. Okay, not even good. He's just a decent thrower of the football. He was terrible, but at least he was able to throw it decently a little bit, and he was able to run the ball. And no, the NFL hasn't seen nothing like that before. Not to his caliber. That was the only time he was a problem. Ever since the league brought everybody else in, or they could run the football, he's been whatever. He's nothing to the league. And they gave this man excuses. Anyways, my point is this. Fanatics have to go and watch a game tape. Fanatics have to go and figure out for themselves, why did that play not work? Was that third down? Was that fourth and goal? Was that fourth down call a good call or not? Why was it? Was it because we wasn't able to run all game? So that's why we ran the ball there, or this and this and that? Was it that they were stopping the run all game, so we decided to play action where we should have just ran it? But I see why we threw a play action. Is you got to understand the game, understand how the game is going, break down film, break down the game itself. When you start going down that way to the fanatic land over there, you start understanding, you start making yourself understand football, understand why coaches are thinking a certain way. Not only coaches, but the league, why the league is going a certain way, why the league is focused a certain way. Start thinking for yourselves. And when you get closer and closer to being a fanatic, the real fans, when you get in a debate or argument with real fans, it gets very annoying because what they're spewing is what they've heard, whether it's from beat writers or the national news media. And it gets annoying because as a fanatic, you understand why they're saying that, but you also know why they're wrong. You understand when I wish I could give some, let's just say Donovan Smith. Let's just take Donovan Smith. Donovan Smith, you understand why real fans are so mad that he's still on the team, a year ago or 2 years ago. Why is he still on the team? But as a fanatic, you understand the salary cap. You understand Donovan himself. I've been saying it for years. The thing with Donovan is exactly what they said when we drafted him. He's a great football player. The question you have with Donovan Smith is, does he want to, it's his heart to play football. And I have noticed that through his whole career. When it's an important game, when it's a big game, when we have something to play for, Donovan Smith can play lights out. We've seen Donovan Smith play very good against the top-notch edge rushers and then play like crap against a nobody. Why? Because probably that game he felt like, well, we're already have a losing season, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a terrible, terrible mindset to have. But you mix that in with, well, not only do you just want to get rid of Donovan Smith, do you have a replacement? Real fans don't think about stuff like that. Do you have someone to replace a Donovan Smith that you just want to throw away? No. So we have to keep Donovan Smith because not only is he, whether you want to agree with it or not, one of the better left tackles in the league, but you don't have nobody to replace him. So a fanatic will understand stuff like that, It is what it is. But you get to that level, you start understanding the game a lot more. And when you start understanding the game a lot more, you start understanding coaches' thoughts. You start understanding GMs, why GMs do what they do. Now, when you get to that level of fanatic, you start also understanding that there's a lot of stupid people in the NFL. There is a lot of dumb people in the NFL. And I mean, there's a lot of dumb coaches. There's a lot of dumb GMs. I mean, you can, people be like, oh yeah, you're right. Bill O'Brien or whatever his name is, the guy from Houston. There's obvious dumb. There's obvious dumb. And then there's other things where it's like, they praise Bill Belichick for doing something. And you're just like, Well, of course you would double team him. Oh, Bill Belichick, what a masterful game plan. Bill Belichick is going to take away. He's going to double team your best player, take him away, and then they're going to shift everything to this. Doesn't everybody do that? Shouldn't everybody do that? No, they don't. There's a lot of dumb coaches. There's a lot of dumb GMs in the NFL. You realize that once you start understanding the game, and then you start understanding, yeah, that's a better coach. Like, oh my gosh, Todd Bowles. Like Todd Bowles. When you start understanding, Todd Bowles is not dumb. Todd Bowles is a genius when it comes to defense. When you start understanding that, when you start understanding when there's dumb coaches, there's smart coaches, there's good coaches, then you see that. And then you start realizing when there's good coaches out there, like a Todd Bowles. Then you realize, like I did, when we played the Saints and everybody panicked and everybody was like, oh my God, we just can't beat the Saints. And when we go into the playoffs, I don't know what we're going to do against the Saints, blah, 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 blah. And what did RTP say? It has to be, I know I'm sound like a conspiracy guy, but that game has to be wrong. It has to be false. That either we threw that game on purpose or we didn't want to show them anything. It didn't make sense. I know Todd Bowles is not a dumb coach. For him to play the defensive way he played in that second Saints game, it made no sense. Now, again, I also said, okay, maybe I can even give Todd Bowles the benefit of the doubt and say maybe he just thought, okay, they thought we were going to play this way, but we're going to play this way defensively. Even if you want to say that, okay, he was wrong. Todd Bowles is not the type of defensive coach that's going to sit there at halftime and say, this is not working. Let's just keep doing it because it's going to work. No, Todd Bowles is known for adjustments and known for switching it up. Okay, we've seen it all season. So when he didn't, that told me, okay, we're not showing them nothing. We're not showing that. We don't want to show them nothing defensively. We're saving it for the playoffs. And that's how RTP was one of the only ones that wasn't worried after we took that pounding by the dang Saints in the second time we played them. Because you start understanding things like that. Things start clicking. It starts making sense. When RTP says it don't make sense that all we're doing is playing zone. All we're doing is playing zone the second half of the season. How does RTP figure that? How does RTP not worry about the defense when RTP sees that the defense is getting torched in the second half of the season, but yet RTP is saying, don't worry. Once we get into the playoffs, I promise you we're going to look like a different defense. And then we get into the playoffs, and all of a sudden we look like one of the best defense, if not the best defense in the league again, just like we did in the beginning of the season. Because I know my team, I follow my team, I watch tape. I see what the coach's game plan is. I see what the coaches are thinking and why they're putting the game plans out. I see what the team, when we play a certain way defensively, when the team looks good and when the team looks bad. I know why the team looks good. I know why the team looks bad. You break that stuff down, you start figuring that out. Anyways, that's Fanatics. So you got your Fanhood, regular fans, mostly everybody. Then you got, I would say, 15% real fans, 80% are just stuck in regular fanhood. They don't really follow the team. Then you got 15% that are real fans, and then you got the 5% that are fanatics that really break down the team, that really watch the team, that follow the team. Wake up. What's going on with the team? Okay, before I go to sleep, let me see anything new with the team. Watch a game a few times, not just once, but watches a game and breaks the game down a few times. Fanatics, that's like 5% of the fan. Now, let's get into why everybody's here watching this stuff, right? Let's break down the first negative. Fair weather fans. Now, I put fair weather fans first. A lot of people want to bandwagon fair weather. Let's just say right now, this they're all bad. They're all bad. You don't want to be any of these. Okay, you don't want to be any of these. Fair weather fan. Let's break down what a fair weather fan is. A fair weather fan is a fan that he could be with the 80%. No, he can only be at the 80%. He can only be where fanhood is at and back. That's it. A fair weather fan is someone who reps the team, but only reps the team proudly when they're doing good. Only reps the team proudly when they look like they might be a playoff team. Start wearing the hats, start wearing the shirts, the jerseys. Oh yeah, we look like a playoff team. Yeah, baby. How about them Cowboys? You know how they do. How about them Cowboys? You know, how about I will say this. Cowboy fans are delusional. There's not a lot of fair weather Cowboy fans. That's the only credit I'll ever give Cowboy fans. All Cowboy fans are delusional. So you don't really see fair weather Cowboy fans because they're always on 100. They're always thinking they're going to the Super Bowl no matter what. They're dumb. I don't know what to tell you. But before, a fair weather fan is a fan that you didn't know they were a fan until I mean, they might say they're a fan, but they don't rep them. They don't want to talk football right away. They just kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a Falcon fan. By the way, I'm a Saints fan. You kind of have to force it out of them. You know what I'm saying? They're really not rah. My team is it, unless they look like they're a playoff type of team. Then you'll hear from them. Then you'll see that they're a fan of that team. Fair weather fans. Fair weather fan is also a fan that talks bad about their team. Now, I'm going to break this down because a lot of people get confused when it comes to this. A lot of people don't know that they're fair weather fans. This is a very serious level of fanhood right here because a lot of people don't know that they're fair weather fans. And I'm going to break it down to you. You got fanhood. A lot of people are JP of the New Orleans Saints. Who are some fans? I don't know. There's a lot of fans. Then you got real fans. You got most of the TTC is filled with real fans. Just like I said, most of your social media, real fans. Then you got your fanatics. Now, I can name a few fanatics easily because there's only a few people that I've said this many times. There's only a few people that I've met in the TTC that I feel come close to my fanhood. That's obviously me. What's his name? Air Falcon TV. I've always said it. He's annoying, but his fanhood matches. I've always said it. He'll be loud and proud and rep his squad like they're gonna win the Super Bowl every year, and you can't tell him different. It is what it is. That's how you're supposed to rep. And not only that, but he knows everything about his team. Cop Pizzle. The man's an idiot at sometimes. He don't really watch game film like that or anything like that. But the man is diehard Giants. Diehard Giants. If you are a fanatic and I didn't say your name, my bad. I can't think of anybody. Those are the ones that pop in my head right now. But let's get to the important, the fair weathers, because there's a lot of fair weathers a lot of people that don't know that they're fair weathers. These are people that I've said this before. They're always scared to stick their neck out and be a fan for their team and get it chopped off. They're afraid to be positive. And I'm just going to put the positive out there. I don't care if somebody laughs at me because they're a fan of another team, but I'm going to put my neck out there, be positive, and throw out positive vibes that my team is going to be positive. These are fair weather fans. Fair weather fans are the fans that are scared to do that. They're scared to stick out their neck and be positive for their team because it doesn't look like, or because deep down inside they feel like it might not happen. Now, a lot of people use this, I'm just real about my team. It's okay to be real. It's okay to be honest about your team. I don't give this guy a lot of respect, but I'm going to do that here. And I'm going to show you exactly what you're supposed to be like. I'm going to name these names: Bad Dog and Simus. Saints Uptown. trying to think who else. These are guys that are fair weather fans. How is that? Oh, how are they a fair weather? I'm going to tell you how they're a fair weather fan. Every time things look down, and this is why I know he don't like to say it, but I'll say it for him, and I know he'll be happy that I said it. This is why Cop Pizza always has problems with Bad Dog. Okay? Every time there's something bad with the team or the team's, hey, we lost 2 in a row, whatever, these guys are the first to throw their team under the bus. Before you talk trash about me, before you talk trash and trash me and my team, let me just stop you and say, I know my team is trash. Those are fair weather fans as well. Okay? If you're so scared to look bad for your team, so you want to throw your team under the bus first so you don't look bad, you're a fair weather fan. Now, they always give this excuse. Oh, so I'm a fair weather fan because I'm real about my team? No. And I'm going to give this guy some credit right now. And he's not going to believe it that I'm about to give him credit. And I probably allow whoever's watching this is not going to believe that I'm going to give this credit. Team Money is the perfect example of being real and still being a fan. He's real about his team. He's not rah, we're going to win the Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do that. If you know your team's not in that situation, you don't have to do that. He's not doing that. He's not saying they playoff contenders, whatever. But if he even thinks you're trying to say that his team is trash, he's going to defend his team. He's not going to sit there and say, wait, let me get in front of this train of you guys about to trash my team and trash my team first. So I'm one of you guys so I can look cool. So I don't look like I'm stupid. So I don't look like I'm stupid and trust my team. Nah, you can think I look stupid. I know my team needs some time to grow. I know we're rebuilding. I know this and this and that. But my team's still better than yours. Whether I believe it or not, I'm not going to tell you they not. Because it's about my team and not your team. I don't care how bad I know my team is. I'm not going to trash my team, especially in front of you. I might sit there, and if it's a Panther circle, you can sit there and be honest and talk. Yeah, we suck here, we suck there. We need to get better there, blah, blah, blah. It's a Panther circle. You're talking with your fellow Panther fan base. You can be honest. You can do what you want to do. But when there's other enemy fan bases around, there should be no reason for you to sit there and jump in front of that train and try to talk trash about your team first and say we suck and we do this and we do that. Nah. That's where the TTC dipped. That's where the TTC started going wrong. People started defending themselves instead of defending their team. They started trashing their own team and started defending themselves. So the other person wouldn't have if I say my team is trash about this, then the other person can't say it now. So I'm going to say it first. And that's where the hate week started going trash because people were saying things that you were already saying about your own team. How sad is that? That's fair weather. That's fair weather. Let's go ahead and get to the next level, which is the title of the video. Bandwagon fans. This is the level and the topic and the reason why this video was made, because a Saint fan had talked about bandwagon Buck fans and thought it was very ironic that a Saint fan, and it's about to get deep. I see there's 9 people watching right now. If you're still watching, it's about to get deep, especially for these Saint fans. I found it ironic that a Saint fan called any Buck fan a bandwagon fan. How is that, RTP? Where are you going with this? Well, let me break it down for you. Let's first break down what a bandwagoner is. A bandwagoner is someone that jumps on a team because they're hot, because they're good now. They jumped on that wagon. That is what a bandwagoner is. So because of that, you have to be careful of having this mindset of, oh, how long? You've only been a Bucks fan for 3 years? Oh, you're a bandwagon fan. You've only been a Bucks fan for 2 years? Oh, you're a bandwagon fan. Now, obviously, I can say 1 year because that's when Brady came. So obviously, you could definitely be a bandwagon fan if you just joined when Brady came, right? Because that's the wagon. That when Brady came, that was a new wagon. But if you came before Brady, if you was here with Jameis Winston, that's one wagon. Jameis Winston left, you stayed in the wagon. Brady came on that wagon, and you're riding on that wagon. So obviously, you're not a bandwagon because you stayed on the wagon from the Jameis wagon, right? Now that's still suspect because, hey, you only jumped on because Jameis was here. You got lucky, and Brady came on, so you said, hey, I won't mind riding this wagon still. Brady's, driving it. I don't mind it. So maybe you got lucky. Okay, still suspect. But if you was here before that, you were here with Josh Freeman. You were here with Josh what's homeboy's name? Johnson. If you were here with Josh Johnson, McCown. If you were here with McCown, if you were here with Glennon, those are all different wagons. You could have gone off on any of those wagons. Jeff Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you talk about 2002 Bucks. Okay, maybe you got on that wagon. Okay, let's just say I got on that wagon. I stayed on the other wagon, and then the other wagon, and then the other wagon, and then the other wagon. And just to be clear, I didn't jump on the 2002 Bucks. Y'all know. But anyways, just to put it out there, because this video, a lot of people are going to have to see. So I got to make sure that people know. But you get my point. You could have jumped off of any of those wagons. So with that being said, knowing if there are no, or let me just say, your bandwagon expiration date doesn't have a certain amount of years. This is where people get things confused. It doesn't have a certain amount of years, because it wasn't that, oh, you were with Jameis for 4 years and then you got lucky with Brady, but since you've been with the Bucks for 4 years, you can't be a bandwagon if you've been with a team for 4 years. No, that's not the truth. They could have been a bandwagon because they jumped on the Jameis bandwagon and it took 4 years. And then before they were about to jump off, they just got hit with a Brady wagon and they stayed on. So years do not determine when your bandwagon card is expired. Now, when you think of it like that, this makes a lot of sense. The Saint Vidmaker that told me, or not me, but did his live stream was, and I'll say it, State of the Saints. You guys know I watch his channel. I love watching his channel. They panic a lot in that channel. They talk a lot of stuff that they're just like, I love watching. I've tweeted this before. One of my favorite things to do is watch Saints Vidmakers right now. They are in so much shambles. They have no idea what's going on. And they're just like pulling things out of their butt, throwing it to the wall, hopes it sticks. Like they have no idea what's going to happen with that team. And they acting like they do. It's just the best thing to watch right now. But on his vid, in the same video that he talked about bandwagon fans. Let me not say that. Let me not say that. I don't know if it was the same video. But in one of his live streams, he has talked about how he was a Saint fan when it wasn't cool to be a Saint fan. You hearing me? Hold on. Let me drop a bomb for that one. He was a Saint fan before it was cool to be a Saint fan. Why is that relevant? Well, I'll tell you. We've heard many times, whether it was Lil Wayne who said everybody in New Orleans was either a 49er fan or a Cowboy fan or whatever other fan. Nobody was a New Orleans Saints. Everybody knows that before they were good, nobody was a New Orleans fan in New Orleans. Everybody was something else. Lil Wayne was a Green Bay Packer fan. Uptown likes to act like that's not true, but everybody knows it's true. Everybody knows that New Orleans never had any fans. State of the Saints podcast has admitted that in those paper bag days, nobody repped the Saints. So what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Drew Brees and the bandwagon happened. Are you here? Are you following me? Drew Brees and the bandwagon happened. So what are you trying to say? Let's get a close-up because I want them to understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is Saint fans have not yet, any Saint fans has not yet proven that they are not bandwagon fans because they've been on one wagon and have ridden it till this day. The Drew Brees bandwagon. Now, once you go through other wagons, like, I don't know, a Jameis wagon, I don't know if he's going to be your starting quarterback, and whoever is after that, and then the wagon after that, if you're still around, then you prove you're not a bandwagon fan. But until you are forced to go through different wagons, you can't prove that you're not a bandwagon fan. Plain and simple. Now, I don't want to sit here and act like I can ask a Saint fan, who was the quarterback then? Who was the quarterback this? Because for a few reasons. One, I got terrible memory, so I'm not going to try to blame someone for having bad memory. And two, once the Saint fans won their Super Bowl, they went back because they got asked a whole bunch of questions. Oh, you're a bandwagon Saint fan. Who was it? So they went and did their research anyways. There's only one way to prove. Let's see how many Saint fans and how many Saint podcasters are still around after about that third wagon that they got to go through. Whether it's a Breeze bandwagon or a Sean Payton bandwagon. I don't know. We'll see. This goes to the same thing for Patriot fans. And to be honest, you really don't have to. There's a lot of Patriot fans that already jumped off that ship. And they're over here with the Bucks. It just is what it is. But that's why, and that's a perfect example of why it don't matter how many years. Years do not expire your bandwagon card. It's not about the years. It's about the several wagons after that you stay on with that team that expires your bandwagon card. A lot of Patriot fans, Patriots till they die, on that Brady wagon. 20 years. Soon as Brady left, they renewed their bandwagon card. Should have never been expired. It should have never been expired. Years do not expire your bandwagon card. It's the different bandwagons you go through with one team that ends up expiring that card. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I can't break it down any better than that. Now, let me just say this. You guys are watching this and you can see that side of the timeline is filled up and there's still some space over there. That's because there's actually one more fan base. And this is the worst fan base. This is worse than Fairweather, and this is worse than bandwagon. What could that possibly be? What could be worse than being a Fairweather fan or a bandwagon fan? I'm going to tell you, and this is debatable. Everything else that I've said from here is not debatable. Whether you want to agree with it or not, it's not debatable. That's what it is. If you're mad about what I said, it's because you fall into one of these categories that you're not happy about. I'm sorry. That's your fault, not mine. It's your fanhood. But this one is debatable as far as where it ranks, I'm putting it last because this is the fanhood that annoys me the most. Bad fans. Bad fans. This fan, as far as knowledge of the team, can be anywhere from bandwagon to real fans. It can't fall into the fanatic. A bad fan, a fanatic can never be a bad fan. And I'll tell you why a fanatic can never be a bad fan. A fanatic could never be a bad fan because if once you're going towards that fanatic, you know enough. Let me break down bad fan more, and then that'll probably make sense. A bad fan is a fan that knows the team, follows the team, even loyal to the team. He's been with the same team. Don't matter how many years. A bad fan could be someone that you know for ever and know that there's no way he's a bandwagon. There's no, he's the same way about the team. So he's not a fair weather fan. He's the same way about the team no matter what. It's just the type of fan he is. He's the fan that's always negative. He is the fan that always thinks bad. You can be on a super, and there's a lot of these bad fans that are over here with those real fans. Over here in the Twitter atmosphere, Facebook atmosphere, these are those fans that I be arguing with too. Always negative on a Super Bowl run, but it's always panicking. Again, there's nothing wrong with panicking. Again, you're one of these fans and you had the Saints game. I understand you don't watch game tape like that. You don't know enough. I can understand how you could panic or think, man, we got to get better. There's nothing wrong with that. But that bad fan takes anything and panics about it. Takes any small story and runs with it and thinks it's the worst thing in the world. Any type of negativity and they want to, that's what's going to happen. Any type of positivity, they stop it and say, yeah, but I hope this doesn't happen. You guys, these people are like this in life, not just fanhood. They're like this in life. Those energy sucking vampires. They're like that in real life. So those are the type of fans that I really can't stand because, again, they know the team. They're loyal to the team. They follow the team, but they always have negative stuff. Always have negative stuff to say. Always think the worst when it comes to the team. Always think we're this, we're that. Yeah, we just won 3 in a row, but we did that 2 years ago and then we lost 5. Remember? Why? Why bring it up? This is a new year, a new team, a new coach, a new quarterback. Why are you bringing that up? Because they're a bad fan. They're a very bad fan. I don't know why. I can't tell you why fans become bad fans. I don't know why. I don't think it's because of long I don't think it's because the franchise has been bad for so long it turns you into a bad fan. No. You were already a bad fan because it doesn't matter how long a bad team is bad. It's not the team's job to keep your fanhood good. It's your job as a fan and your fanhood to stay on this side. That's your job as a fan. When you become a fan, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to root. Break down being a fan to its lowest level. If you have a son and your son is in a sport, are you no longer rooting for your son or being positive for your son because his team lost or his team doesn't win championships? No, that's your son. You will always root for your son or daughter. You will always root for your kid to do good. You will always root for him and his team to do good. No matter how much they suck, you're not going to sit in the stands and be like, yeah, my son just scored a touchdown, but he's probably going to throw an interception or two because that's what he always does. No, You're going to sit there and say, oh, my son is hot. My son is hot. This could be that breakout game. No matter how many years he was sucking. That is fanhood to the lowest form. Not the lowest form. That sounds mean, but to purest form, I'll say that. That is fanhood at its purest form. It is your job as a fan to stay positive and stay this way. You going this way just means you're just trash. You're just trash. You don't know, you don't understand loyalty. You don't understand what being a fan is. Again, I don't care how bad your franchise is. I don't care how many years they lost. I don't care how many times you thought they were going to be good and then they proved you wrong. You should never fall this way. You should always stay going this way, no matter what. I don't care if 10 years we were 9-7 and 10 years we missed the playoffs. Guess what? On that 11th year, I'm thinking we go into the playoffs. That's what a real fan does. So I hope you guys understand me breaking down the different fanhoods of sports, really. That's really what it is. And again, I hope if you're on from here to down that way, I know what I said about these people. I know what I said about real fans, and I know what I said about fanatics. It don't matter. Even though I argue with a lot of these people, and I argue with these people. And the only reason why I argue with these people is because I try to shed knowledge. I don't argue with these people. They try, but I don't argue. Once I identify you as one of these people, the most that I argue with is maybe the bad fans. And that's only because a bad fan can really cloak himself as a fan or a real fan because he has so much knowledge or has been repping it for so long that they can look like they're a real fan or just a regular fan. But once I unclothe you and I find out that you're a fair weather or you're a bandwagon or you're a bad fan, your knowledge, your opinion no longer matters to me, and I will not argue with you. So if I do argue with you on Twitter, and I want to say this because, again, a lot of people on Twitter, Facebook and stuff, a lot of people think that I argue with them because I want to be right all the time and da-da-da-da. It's not about being right all the time. It's about trying to inform people and get them to understand things. And I said this on Twitter, and I'll break this down real quick on here as well. I got into it with people from I can't remember which one of the guys it was, which one of the hosts, but I was basically going into it on someone with from Loose Cannon, and someone else jumped in and was like, "This is why no one likes you, RTP. You're always trying to force people to have the same type of fanhood as you, blah 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 blah." And I said this, look, it's not, you're always trying to be right, blah blah. I said, look, I'm not always trying to be right. It just is what it is. If I know something that you don't know, or you're giving misleading information, I'm going to tell you. When you say things on live stream like Mike Evans can't take the top off, yeah, okay, he ain't no Scotty Miller, he ain't no Tyreek Hill, but taking the top off don't mean that you're that. Taking the top off means you could get behind the defense, and there's not many players better at getting behind the defense than Mike Evans. And that's just facts. To act like Mike Evans is slow is a dumb opinion. It just is. So when you say things like that, I, as a real fanatic, have to let you know I'm not mad at you. I'm not hating you, but I have to let you know that opinion is false. It's wrong. You can't say that because especially people from Loose Cannons, they got a way bigger people, a lot more people watching their stuff than me. So a lot more people listen to them and think that what they're saying is true. Then they got actual Buck players that go on their live stream and stuff. So they look legit. So when you come out and you say things like that, it makes it real. It makes fans actually believe. What happens when you give people misinformation is it makes them think a certain way about a player that they shouldn't. And when they do that, it's easier for them to bash players. When you come on your live stream and say, the coach, that was a stupid call by the coach. I hate the coach. The coach makes dumb plays, calls. He does this, he does that. you get the rest of these fans saying, yeah, you're right. You're right. And then fans call into radio stations and get more views and more calls. And people are saying, yeah, you know what? They're right. Yeah, there was a bad call. That was this. Not realizing, no, it was a great call because they were playing this type of defense all game, especially on third down. So they knew that they were going to play that defense. So it was the right call. They just didn't execute it right. Or the player is actually good, but the scheme was wrong for the player. Or there's so many things. And when you have a whole bunch of fans that are calling for somebody's head, that are saying that a player sucks, they're saying that whatever is bad when they have no idea and they're completely wrong, it makes free agency harder for us to grab people. Especially when you have people like Chris Baker, when you have people like Deshaun Jackson, when you have people that leave our franchise and bash our franchise because they're like, I hate that. I hated being there. And they're on Twitter saying it all the time. I hate it. I hated being with the Bucks. The fan base sucks. The fans suck. They don't know what they're talking about. They're trash. Gerald McCoy, the way we treat Gerald McCoy, you think that attracts free agents? The only free agents that we can attract, and I've said this before, the only free agents that it makes us available to attract are free agents that don't care about that. And you know why they don't care about that? Because they care about the money. And when they don't care about that and they only care about the money, you can believe that they probably don't care about the team either. They just care about, I'm getting a check. I don't care what this team is doing. I don't have to buy into this team. I'm just here because I'm in Florida. There's no state taxes. I'm kicking my feet up and collecting my money. And we've been through all of that. All those free agencies that we've gotten that just came in and it just seemed like they did exactly that. Why? Because they know about the fan base that comes on here and acts like they know what they're talking about, but they don't. And they trash the wrong people. They're supposed to be blaming the coach, but they're blaming the player. Or they're supposed to be blaming the player, but they're blaming the coach. Or they're not supposed to be blaming nobody. They're just supposed to be giving credit to the opposing team because they came with a better game plan. And that's the end of it. It ain't, oh, we lost, so we suck now. No. Why did we lose? Did they have a better game plan? Did one of the players mess up the game plan? Did one of the players just have a bad game? Did the game plan was just wrong? Was the coaching just didn't have it in the play calling? Was it bad play? So many things could be a reason why we lose. So when you just grab at the easiest or the low apple on the tree and it's wrong, players get fed up with that, especially players that care about their legacy and care about what they're going to be looked at. They don't want to go to an organization that, oh, yeah, but when they were with the Bucks, they sucked. Why? Because the media said they sucked. The fans said they sucked. So their legacy when they were here with the Buccaneers was they sucked. No, I don't need that on my legacy. I'm going to go somewhere else where they're going to like me. They're going to appreciate me, where they're going to understand. That's why I got on Loose Cannons. That's why I get on anybody that I hear put out, whether it's Loose Cannon with the views that they got or whether it's What the Buck with the views that he got. It doesn't matter to me. Whoever is making content for Buccaneers. Now, I'm not saying you have to be 100% right because everyone has their opinions. It is what it is. Even the opinions I have, I tell you, it could be that. It could be something else. I don't know. But at least it's a real answer. It's not just, well, it looks like that. I didn't look into it. And there's a lot of things that we can talk about. Game plan, coaching, that you don't really have to do homework. But when you start talking like Mike Evans can't take the top off, so-and-so is not more important than so-and-so, you better be right. Byron Leftwich is terrible at play calling. You better be right. Todd Bowles looks like he don't know what he's doing anymore. You better be right. Because when you create a mob and you get rid of Byron Leftwich or you get rid of a Todd Bowles or you get rid of Bruce Arians, you might kick yourself in the butt after when you realize or find out that you really didn't know what you were talking about. You were completely wrong. And you wanted this other guy that you put no type of so what I'm looking for, no type of homework on, and now you're worse off. Something that I feel like Falcon fans are going through right now. Anyways, that's enough for today. We talked about Fanhood. I had like 2 other videos and I can't remember what they were about, but hopefully I can remember and we'll do some more. I know I've been MIA. It's been a while. I see a lot of y'all in here, man. Shout out to everybody that's in here. It's a lot of comments. I'm not even going to go through it. I'm going to end it on this note. It's your man RTP, Skull Gang in the building. I appreciate everybody, man. Drop bombs for everybody that's in the building. Do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, okay? Just do it. Great content here. Hit the notification bell. That way you know whenever I go live or just upload a video. If you're new or you're not new, please, if you guys are here right now, before you guys leave, hit that like button because it helps me out a lot. It helps me out a lot. Hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. It's your man RTP, Skull Gang in the building. Shout out to Bill. Thank you for Brady. We're going to go for 2. It's your man RTP. Again, you know, I know we got free agency, all that other stuff in due time. We got plenty of time, man. Look, again, I've said this before. I'll say it one more time. Our job is not to look at draft. Our job is not to look at free agency. You know what our job is right now as a fan, since we are champions, is to just kick back and enjoy it. Just enjoy it, man. That's what I've been doing. I haven't been looking at free agency. I haven't looked at the draft. I haven't looked at nothing. I'm just enjoying the fact that we are champions. We are champions. Nobody else. No other team in the NFL. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are champions, and we're it right now. It's your man RTP. Skull Gang in the building. Deuce. Just a ring when you kneel. We got Brady's shout out to Bill.